Can you imagine driving 14 hours straight to Utah to test the most insane capabilities of the new Ford Bronco in Utah's most rugged terrain? How about driving from Utah all the way to a special part of the Grand Canyon that nobody gets to encounter? That's completely on off-road trails, basically in the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Well, I got to make these dreams a reality, and I even got to see Post Malone's Raising Cane's. I had the opportunity to watch the most insane dune buggies test the most ridiculously insane terrain with the same engine that's in my Mustang. I even watched powered paragliders flying around us and performing stunts through the canyons of Utah. I'll tell you what, this experience was one of a kind, and it sure was amazing. But it all started with the drive from Washington State.
I wrote a note the Sunday, symptoms like how I forget. Then washed my pants on Monday, forgot I had it there in the pocket for the doctor, but my writing wasn't there. What to do, where are the words to tell them I'm doing okay?
We're in Utah. We're gonna go check into our room and go grab some Raising Cane's.
Perfect bodies in the shallow blue, drifting faster than they should. Golden hour paints a dreamlike view. Even dreams start fading too. I am leaving, tell me what to do.
Hey guys,
I can feel it.
back out this morning, getting ready to leave the hotel. We went and ate breakfast, and now we are just leaving the hotel room, about to check out, and we are going to go to Winca. But turn this light off real quick. And let's get out of here. Catch you guys here in a little bit.
Never meant for this life. It's a wave and we're moving on. Summer's gone before you realize. Bullets melting in the water is cold. Some things just fading me.
We made it to St. George, and we're gonna stop at Culver's to get a bite to eat.
No tomato.
What I thought was a quick day trip from St. George, Utah to see the Grand Canyon actually turned into a 10-hour round trip drive strictly on off-road trails to a spot at the Grand Canyon I never would have expected. But I'll tell you what, we were legit driving in the middle of nowhere, and it seemed like we were getting lost driving for hours. The road was as rough as could be, with the crew even getting a flat tire. But with a little time, I experienced something I hadn't quite ever experienced before. We parked the Broncos on the edge of the Grand Canyon, and if you are scared of heights, I don't recommend doing this because it wasn't for the faint of heart. With no cell service whatsoever and the only form of communication being radios between vehicles, we still had to drive 5 hours back to where we started before the sun went down on us, but we somehow made it. We drove back to town and we ended up going to a hotel to get some sleep for the night to be prepared for an adventure that was awaiting for us the following day. Alright, it's next morning, 7 o'clock, and we are going to go to United by Bronco, the actual event today, in Hurricane, Utah. So, I'll see you guys there after we gas up and get something to eat. When we arrived at the parking lot of Sand Hollow State Park, there were a few Broncos, but not a whole lot. But that didn't last long, because soon, people in Broncos started rolling in one by one as fast as you could count. And before you knew it, there were over 350 Ford Broncos, ready to test the rugged terrain of Sand Hollow. We made our way through the desert and into the terrain, where we would then test the capabilities of the new Ford Bronco like never before. We were starting to get the hang of the obstacles, and we continued to make our way through the trails. Some of the obstacles were more difficult than others, but a lot of them were perfect to get the technique and skill down. The next stop was lunch after several miles of trail riding. Where we stopped was absolutely breathtaking, and it had a view that I had to get the drone out for, and it did not disappoint. Now that we got our stomachs full and ate some food, it's time to get back on the trails and make our way back to where we were heading to go to an event later in the day.
But I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you.
As we finished up day one, we were very satisfied with everything we had the opportunity to experience and everything we had the opportunity to learn. It was a very fun and adventurous day, but it was time to get some rest for the next day's adventure. The event, called the Shoot Challenge, which was an almost vertical climb up a steep obstacle, and it was amazing seeing what these Broncos are capable of. I had the opportunity to ride in Brad's Bronco to attempt the shoot, which we did successfully and even got a free hat. While hanging out at the area of the event, a few dune buggies pulled up going on the most insane terrain that I didn't even think was possible to do on four wheels. I ended up talking with one of the dune buggy drivers and found out he was from Australia. He said that he actually built the buggy from the bottom up and put the same 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged motor that was out of a Ford Mustang identical to my own Mustang back at home. The day went on, and it was getting closer to the end of the day when we heard several powered paragliders fly through the area, and even got to watch them perform stunts and even drive alongside them while we were heading back to the parking spot where we originally started. I had a really amazing time and the experience of a lifetime in just 4 days, but after all of it, I was absolutely exhausted, and it was time to start the journey back home to Washington State, where I continued on with my normal life. If you ever have the opportunity to do something like this, I cannot encourage you enough to try it. Life is hard most of the time, so get out and do the things you have always wanted to do and make life count. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. It would help me out a lot if you hit the subscribe button and leave a like, but no pressure at all. As always, God bless, and I'll see you all next time.